What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another 5-minute car review where we break down a brand new vehicle that is soon to be released. Today, as you can probably guess, we are going to take a look at the all-new McLaren GT. It seems McLaren finally decided to make a car without a number on it. Never thought I would actually see the day, but even with a different name, this car has many characteristics that follow its other McLaren siblings. Let's first start with performance. The GT is driven by a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 that produces a healthy 612 horsepower along with 465 pound-feet of torque. That is almost 100 horsepower less than the big bad 720S, but this car is still capable of doing 0 to 60 in under 2.9 seconds. Even 0 to 100 only takes 6.4 seconds, all the way to a top speed of 203 miles per hour. Not too shabby for a grand touring vehicle. This V8 is mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission that helps propel the car to those crazy performance times. To help aid in a better daily driver setup, McLaren allotted 95% of the torque to be available at just 3,000 RPM. This helps the car move swiftly without needing to dive that needle high into the RPM range. Also, the GT only weighs roughly 3,400 pounds, which is a bit more than 200 pounds over the 720S, but this car was meant to serve a completely different purpose. Stabilization for the GT happens through the use of anti-roll bars and adaptive dampers like found on the 570S. For a bit of comparison, the 720S uses the much more aggressive proactive chassis control system too. In terms of stopping power for the McLaren GT, the car is fitted with 14.5-inch cast iron brakes in the front and comparable 14-inch brakes for the rear. These brakes are 4-piston calipers, and testers have mentioned so far that to stop this extremely quick vehicle, it does take a bit of effort due to the brakes used. Carbon ceramic, of course, are options, but that comes with a very hefty price tag, of course. So let's talk about the design of the GT. It certainly still gives off that McLaren look, but I would say that it's a unique vibe to it. I've seen many people compare its body lines to that of the all-new Corvette C8, and honestly I can see it, that long angular nose coupled with those large side air intakes. It is even supposed to be more for your daily driving, which again overlaps the purpose of the Corvette C8. McLaren first attempted to hit this long-distance exotic mark with its McLaren 570 GT back in 2016. It was met with some criticism though, so this is their chance at redemption. And with that being said, creating the car that is comfortable yet still sharp and not too soft is no easy feat. The back of the GT has a simple yet fresh look that at times reminds me of a more exotic Aston Martin. I think it is those simple round dual exhaust tips that really do it. So while this car does have a more muted appearance than say the 570S or 650 LT, it certainly is still beautiful. The interior of the McLaren GT is where the car really shines though. McLaren says they optimized the interior for long distance travels. The seats have perfect padding and have shoulder plus back support integrated. The seats are fully electronical and they have heat. The company also put in their most sophisticated 12.3-inch touchscreen infotainment system with ambient lighting and electrochromic glass roof instead of the traditional black carbon fiber panel. To help get your tunes going, the GT is fitted with a premium Bowers & Wilkins 12-speaker system. Fun fact, the mid-range speakers are made out of Kevlar. For increased comfort, the GT uses special engine mounts that are much less stiff found in other McLaren models, and trunk space is a very big deal for this Grand Tourer, so McLaren has fitted the car with a front and rear trunk. The rear trunk sits just above the engine, which did prove to be particularly difficult to combat the heat temps in that space. McLaren says that through the use of multiple insulation materials and air intake design, the luggage area will never reach more than 1/10 the heat level of the engine bay. I did, however, see that this was mentioned in a Car and Driver article, with the company saying they sat their laptop in the rear luggage area, and after finishing their drive, it was very hot to the touch. They also had gummy bears they had in the bag, and they had fully melted. So obviously heat is somewhat of an issue still. Fuel economy for the car is rated at 15 city and 22 highway for a combined 18 mpg. Honestly, this is not bad at all and should help increase the viability of this car being for long road trip use. So as you can tell, this car to many people may not make a lot of sense, but obviously McLaren has learned there is certainly a market for buyers who want a wild exotic car that also has Bentley-like traits. As you can imagine, this car comes with a lofty price tag of $213,000, but the company says they are looking to sell over 1,200 units every year it's built. Competition for this exact vehicle is certainly low, as its closest competitors would be like a DB11 or Porsche Turbo S, which are pushing the gray area boundary for what is a like-to-like competition. Well everyone, that wraps up today's 5-minute review over the McLaren GT. As always, let me know what your thoughts are below and make sure you hit that like button. Thank you all so much for watching, take care, and as always, I'll see you next video.